All right, so it's been a fun week in business. All right, futures opened higher, led by communication services like Netflix and Meta. Oil moved higher, bond yields moved lower. The fourth quarter GDP was at 1% in the Eurozone, with Germany at a negative 0.3% contraction. France and Spain and Italy were the strongest in Europe. A decline in bond yields is a positive. Innovation to increase sales. Teamsters had customer loss during negotiation. Drop in U.S. margins and guidance gave investors new confidence in UPS. Uh, Super Micro benefiting from generative AI. Azure Cloud helped Microsoft customers cut costs. Alphabet hit at an all-time high. Starbucks in China is still uncertain. Job growth is still above trend. Spotify's up 2%. AMD's down 1%. It's a buy and a dip in opportunity in small caps. Badge access and attendance to managers to measure contribution at IBM. PCE showed a cooling in GDP at 3.3% in the United States. It was a sign of expansion. When a woman created a formula from a dream that sells in Whole Foods, you have to be tactic for visibility. Home Depot Foundation partners with Tunnel to Towers for U.S. Army veterans in new chapter in accessible smart living. Berkshire Hathaway incorporates CL B stock underperformed Tuesday when compared to competitors despite daily gains and losses on the day. Well, demand drives an earnings beat, and Russia banks post record in 2023. Their profits, it even surprised the central bank. Indexes are mixed ahead of tech results. Citadel CEO Ken Griffin is to cut off with donations to Harvard. Barry Steinert says office real estate losses will hit $1 trillion. And the following day, the futures ended in the red. AT&T and corporate stocks outperforms competitors on a strong trading day. Transitory headwinds hit Starbucks despite an incredibly strong start. Globally, the Middle East conflict is a major headwind for Starbucks in the second quarter. Peltz wants Disney shareholders to reject 2 board directors at AGM. Berkshire grew still with the losses. Boeing rises as investors analyze earnings guidance, commentary focusing on safety, and silent on discussing financial targets. Apple and Google could win the war for the digital wallet. Big tech earnings are here, so buckle up. Apple's earnings are at the top, while in the face of an ugly streak. Apple says impacts of boycotts in China are transitory. Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus will start the password sharing crackdown. Boeing CEO on the 737 blowout says that we caused the problems. Ukraine new 100-mile bomb from Boeing is ready. Mark Zuckerberg says Apple and Google should manage parental consent for apps. Loss of income opportunities sitting in the S&P 500 out of the Magnificent Seven. S&P had its worst decision day of the Fed since March 2023. Wall Street ends lower after the Fed holds rates steady. Rules out a March rate cut. Dow 136-point drop led by losses in share of Cisco, Nike, and the Dow ended more than 300 points lower after Powell says a March rate cut is unlikely. Banks are shying away from commercial real estate, and Universal Music Group hits TikTok over songs and music influence. Instacart quietly deletes its AI generative food picks, and Roku poaches Publicis executive to lead ad sales. And then the following day, making room for new AI builders, job seekers in the market. All right. Tech dragged Wall Street. Investors thought about making more of importance for AI. Declines in the gaming business, a Magnificent Seven accounts for 29% of the index, 26 new and high deteriorating stocks are ripping. All right, free cash flow outlook is a headwind, 21% on credit cards, 6.9% on 30-year fixed, 7% on auto loans, and inflation is sinking while manufacturing and GDP expands. Paramount is going private, and Boeing kept rising after pulling guidance. Regional banks are sinking in equities. Oil moves higher. The Fed is in risk management mode. Treasury bonds are attractive in short-term yield. The DAX is down. Multi-billion tax packages are out. Soft landing with geopolitical risk. The earnings provision outside of the U.S. hasn't rallied in the U.S. Apple is facing headwinds. Stocks rebound after the Fed's induced pullback. Activist interest boosts Norfolk Southern and Etsy. A judge certifies Apple's App Store in a class action. Apple stock holds as investors refocus on AI. Boeing's troubles are not fading with their credibility on the line. Ferrari is nearing $100 billion market value. Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated CLB stock is rising as it continues to underperform. Retailers slash prices on more Nike sneakers. Wall Street is watching for a $10 billion domestic box office in 2026. Disney board urges shareholders to reject activist investors attempting to join the board. China's rebound and the world's second largest economy is unlikely for this year, and Subway's adding more stores than it closed. Meta and Amazon added $270 billion in market cap, and Starbucks tests the late night delivery. And we ended the week with WTI down, Brent crude going down, natural gas going up, and the Dow was up. Bitcoin was over 43%. S&P was up. NASDAQ was up. The yields were slightly up. Emergence of a new super cycle. The dollar index was up $3.9 billion to give everybody in the skin in the game. Net is worth more about asset compounding than labor. GDP is accelerating. Invest America 24. Gold is down from 3,000. Silver is down. Copper is down. Apple China demand troubles. Government can't contribute to 30% of the GDP, but it looks unsustainable in the U.S. Tech companies boosting earnings. Industrials have structural tailwinds and cyclicals, and being cyclical by being soft landed adjacent. China has an equity market sell-off. The FTSE 100 is up, and the European Central Bank talks of rate cuts. Japan is high, and the Nikkei to escape deflation. The AI lobbying is surging, and AI safety and security. Training on AI to insurance claims. AWS is growing more, and more than double the supervisor team. 13.2 billion in profit. Boeing chain supply ripples has a hiring freeze. More workers are needed on modern manufacturing floors. 4 million jobs in manufacturing need to be fulfilled. Building durable portfolios. U.S. adds over 300,000 jobs. Activists could hurt business. Warren Buffett advice is to take care of the brand and take care of the customers to stay on a growth trajectory. All right. Underweight equities and overweight fixed income. Bond yield rises after the job report. Meta issuing its first dividend. Uranium hits a 16-week high. AT&T plays the organic asset. And work-life balance aggregate. Private pay rolls weekly. And the hard stance on returning to the office is facing headwinds. Shares of Chevron and Caterpillar has helped the Dow rally to nearly 200 points. Both the Dow and the S&P reached new highs. Like Meta and the stock market, Meta $197 billion surge is the biggest with solid earnings, and that's an S&P record. Yep. And hope you're ready for a new week, because I am.